Hey guys, what's up? This is Dave from Common IDW here, and welcome to another episode of the Binge Blast podcast, the show where we have, well, some of us are starting to get better stuff to do, I guess, because, like, we're in a weird transitional period. I know, like, Jamir is starting to work again,
We're going into phase 4 in
Going
Chicago.
into phase 4, whatever that means.
That means more stores, like retail stores, are starting to open, and restaurants are opening like their patios for people to eat.
Oh,
so it's not just takeout or
so
takeout
that means
only
people
anymore.
can hoard the bars and then set us back 3 steps.
Yes. So
okay,
also
cool.
the bars are opening now, and people don't know how to fucking social distance.
Such a mistake.
And don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. It's dumb.
Like, who was it that was telling me that there was a bar in Wrigley that was just packed with people?
Wrigley just got in trouble yesterday for that, actually.
yeah, because people were crowded up like it was
I gotta
like
go
nothing
get my
was
drink
wrong.
with the boys.
They went to that bar that's like right across the street from
the stadium.
From the stadium, and like no one was wearing masks, and they're all caught up like
so
groups
reckless.
of like
People
40 or 50
so
like fools.
People were acting like nothing was wrong.
Anyway, y'all know what's
The
going
Florida
on
of
in the world
Chicago.
right now. But we are here. You're listening to the Binge Blast podcast, where we're talking about what we've been playing and watching. Because some people are starting to go back to work, but the rest of us are still at home, clearing our backlogs and chilling, collecting that sweet, sweet unemployment moolah.
Wow.
Anyway,
Way to flex.
I'm your host,
Way to flex on me.
David, and I'm here with Aisha.
Hello.
And Jamir.
Hi.
And Javi.
What's poppin'?
He got his pizza.
Bro,
oh my god. And we're about to talk about some stuff. If you're watching the video version of the podcast, you can notice that we have a nice little bottom border. I did a little bit of renovations on the live streaming side of things for the visuals. I'm also gonna actually post this one to YouTube. So shout out to everyone who checks this podcast out on YouTube. Now you guys are going to start getting these to your sub boxes, so congratulations. But then also, shout out to everyone who's listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But unfortunately, you're not listening live at twitch.tv/ConmanRDW, where we record these podcasts every Tuesday at 6 p.m., quote unquote. And then we also have another podcast, the Commentary Podcast, where we record on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time as well. Yeah, we're still doing stuff. Hopefully, we can keep this level of productivity going throughout the rest of the year and onto 2021. But let's get started. Let's start talking about stuff because I've been still playing stuff. Everyone's been doing things. Let's see what we're talking about this week. Jamir, you're getting ready for Miles Morales, and you've been playing some Spider-Man on the PS4.
I have been playing Spider-Man.
Talk to us about that.
It's been fun. I got the game when it released, and then I somewhere along the way I played it, and I think I got to 75% of the story, and then I just fell off.
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided that this week at my boyfriend's house, I was just gonna finish it all, and I started from the beginning, and then I finished it within a week.
Yeah, the game's really good. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's really good. I still have the DLC content and stuff to do, but the main story of the plot game I finished, which was great. It was actually really fun. It actually felt like each arc. It actually felt like the arcs for the story actually were worth it.
Yeah, I really like the story.
It's really good storytelling.
One. Where basically everyone always says Spider-Man is more like the people superhero, where he also has bills to worry about. He has his own shit going on when he's at the same time saving everyone else. And you feel that a lot, heavy in this game compared to every other game that's ever been for Spider-Man. I feel.
Yeah.
So also being in that age where I too have to worry about bills and shit. I feel the struggle. So I really like that aspect of the game.
It's really another thing that's really cool about it is that only because I read comic books every so often, so I've been trying to get myself back up to date with what's currently going on in the Spider-Man comics.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty interesting. I wasn't aware of the whole Peter Parker Dr. Octavia situation.
Yeah.
Which is actually wild. it is mind-boggling that that's been going on this whole time. And I had no idea, and it's
Mm-hmm.
been really cool because like you check out like websites like comicbook.com. They've been talking about how it's been teased that the Green Goblin is coming back
Oh yeah.
because he hasn't been. Yeah, so it's been really that's been like a really nice touch because the Green Goblin, like Norman Osborn, hasn't been the Green Goblin in God knows how long.
Yeah, they really have been leaning on Octavius for a while, and like the animations, and also like in like Spider-Verse, for example, that was one of the main villains in that. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh
it's
huh.
been like, and it was like really cool. So like, I've been like really like happy about that, and then getting caught up on like the comics and stuff. It's like they really did a lot with like Octavius.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a lot for him. I'm like, yeah, maybe he should take a back burner for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
it's cool though. I like Spider-Man. It was fun. I
how
do
much
like.
did you complete it? Did you go for the platinum, or have you just like finished the main story and you're good on
I
that?
literally just finished the main story yesterday.
Okay. Are you gonna go back in and like platinum everything, or because that game, I heard more people
Yeah,
platinum that
there's
game
a
than
lot of
most
stuff
other
to do
stuff.
in it. So like, I
Yeah.
think I want to go back because like I do want to play the other DLC content. I do want to. I actually was doing a lot of the the base extra stuff. Like I got all the landmarks before I even like realized that it was an accomplishment point. I just did it.
Oh, like you filled in the map and stuff, or
Yeah, because I was like,
yeah,
I hate
same.
seeing blank spaces, so it's
Mm-hmm.
just like I'm like cool, and then like exploring like New York and stuff is like pretty cool for like what they did in 2018. I thought that was really nice, especially
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't notice that like the one of there's a building from New York that's not actually in that game. It's a really important building. I think it's
Oh
the
yeah,
Empire
yeah,
State
yeah.
Building.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I think the Empire State Building. I was like, it's the only building in that game that's not in the game because
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't get
The licensing or whatever.
they couldn't get the lights, they couldn't get permission to put it in the game. And it was like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a hassle. We can go through all that.
Yeah.
But it's nice because like the Avengers Tower is in it, so that's pretty cool. It's a
Yeah.
nice substitute.
And that even goes into like the whole thing with this whole Avengers game that's being made right now,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like they're basically building up a Marvel Games universe. So to see like Spider-Man doing his thing in New York, and then on like the west coast of the United States, I'm like over there, that's where things are happening in the Avengers game. It looks like. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how all those
Just
things
imagine
end up
Tony Stark
probably
coming back to
tying
New York
together.
and man, like, what the fuck happened
Yeah,
while I was gone?
because the Avengers game is going to be out before the Miles Morales the Miles Morales game drops. So that'll be
Yeah,
interesting in seeing if
it'll be
anything
interesting.
crosses over between the two. Aisha's also
Yeah.
playing Spider-Man as well because she's getting ready for Miles Morales also. So
Yeah, but I've already talked about it like the past one or two podcasts.
yeah, have you played it that much more since then? Or
No, not since the last time we talked about it. No,
uh-huh.
because what's been happening? Oh, because I had like closing shifts at work, so I wasn't really able to. Or we were playing Last of Us.
Yeah, true.
So we've been focusing on that. So my thoughts are still the same. That
Mm-hmm.
it's fun, but I do want to blaze through it and finish it.
Yeah.
I think I'm only maybe like 20% done
Mm-hmm.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know Javi, he's like planning on getting to it soon too. So that's gonna be really fun when we're all like
Yeah, one
basically caught
day.
up on that. One day. But yeah, Aisha, you said that since you've been busy with work and also The Last of Us Part 2, no spoilers, of course. Let's you and me have been playing a little bit of The Last of Us Part 2, so we're gonna
Oh, are we gonna dive into that?
we're not gonna dive into it because we're gonna do that in its own independent video
Oh yeah, I'm excited about
at
doing
some
that.
point.
Okay.
But let's very vaguely talk about how we're feeling about The Last of Us Part 2 right now.
Oh, that game has me fucked up. That game got me fucked up. Fuck Naughty Dog, bro. I don't know. It's Last of Us 2. Well, I guess both the first and the second game are. What's the word I'm trying to think of? I guess there's I don't know if I want to call it controversy or if there's
There's
just
a lot
like,
of controversy about this game. yes.
controversy, and there's just a lot of split opinions about it because it's either you love it, you love what they did with the sequel, or you fucking hate it and you think it's terrible. And I'm on the side of I like what they did with the story and with the characters, even though there is bullshit. Like there's stuff that happens that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like early on in the game, there's bullshit in the game. but like, where are we at? I think we're getting close to like the midpoint.
We're basically at the halfway point.
We're at the halfway point, and there's this one moment where I think that's where the differing opinions are coming in, where there's like a turnaround, and you learn a lot of shit about things that happen. About things that happened in the first game. Yeah. It's, I don't know. I like what they did with it. I like what they did with the story. I think it's different compared to other games that might have done something similar. I don't know. They added some spice to it, to an already spicy game. Would you say that, David?
Yeah.
The game is spicy.
The gameplay is clean.
The gameplay is also clean. I think they improved a lot from The Last of Us 1, in my opinion.
Yeah, they got that Uncharted engine on there, so the game's really clean in that regard as well.
My complaint would be the jumping. I don't like the jumping.
Yeah, Ellie didn't Ellie doesn't feel as light on her feet as Nathan Drake. Basically because it's more like it's not as action heavy, I guess, or whatever. It's not as fast paced as Uncharted 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I know another thing is there's a lot of what would you call it, like empty time or like
that's another thing
people
have been complaining about.
There's longer
a lot of
lulls.
There's lulls, but it's mainly, I think it's good to build, especially with the world of The Last of Us. Those moments are good for me to at least like walk around and see the ruin that these areas have become. And also, like, if you're with another character, you have those contextual hallways or those moments where they're just having little back and forths. But, and from a gameplay perspective, obviously, it's just moments to collect materials before you get to another battle where you're going to waste more materials and resources. But, yeah, I'm really getting into the world and stuff like that, so it doesn't really bother me too much. But I know, like, a lot of people who are in The Last of Us for the action, the stealth, survival gameplay, those type of things can be a turn off for people when you're just in an encounter and then your downtime is like 15, 20 minutes or something like that. Or maybe not that long, but it depends what you're doing, or how you play the game. But yeah, it's a whole thing. Like I said, we're going to for sure have a more in-depth conversation once we're done with the game, and then also we have a couple other people, Jerome from Team RDW, and a couple other friends, they're playing it as well. So we're just gonna basically have a specific podcast, probably live stream it, and just gush about the game and probably argue on some stuff. So that's gonna be really fun. Yeah. So stay tuned for that, because that's gonna be fun. Yeah. Let's see, what else were we gonna touch on today? Jamir. Wait, no, Javi.
Hi.
So you are currently affiliated on Twitch. Clap, clap, clap. Congratulations.
Hi.
You made
I
it.
play Twitch.
Yes. Javi
Good
Twitch
game.
streams on his own channel, which is #shameless plug yourself, Javi.
Oh, you weren't here for that. All right, so my Twitch is twitch.tv/chaosifized. That is CHAOSIFIZED. You can also follow me on Instagram, which is instagram.com/CHAOSIFIZED.
Yes. You can follow him on all those. And he recently just got affiliated on Twitch, and he is part of the Muse Dash community. And I think you would agree, Javi, that the Muse Dash community has been carrying. They've been carrying.
Dude,
or at least they've been,
they go crazy.
Of you streaming on Twitch, so that's great. But
yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Man.
So talk a little bit about Muse Dash, the game that you play on a consistent basis.
So, Muse Dash is a very simple rhythm game that requires you to hit notes at the right time on either the top row or bottom row of like this little music track. Mm-hmm. And it scales from difficulty of like, I guess like 1 or 3. I think it's like 3 at minimum to like 11. And it's really good. The difficulty kind of like pacing between difficulty numbers is really good. And there's a lot of different songs that emphasize different styles or different patterns of playing songs. that's something that I find really important because when I play DDR, so Dance Dance Revolution, and after a while you'll start to notice, oh yeah, this pattern wants me to do this, or like you want me to do this.
Yeah.
But with hand games, it becomes very unique in the sense of you can open up the possibilities of whatever you want to do to where sometimes it can feel like not right, but it's still correct. Like the one song, was it Ruby Lint? There's a part where you have to hold the top row, and as you're holding the top row, you have to spam the bottom row because there's like notes coming out so fast that like you can't do it with one button with one finger. You have to do it with two fingers. So you're basically three fingering whatever controller you have and spamming while you're holding this other note. And you cannot do that at all in a dance game. That is physically impossible. You need two people to do that.
Jeez.
But what's cool about it is what's cool about Muse Dash 2 is not only is the game good, the music is fantastic, but the community is super cool. I like would randomly play, and then people would show up and be like, "Hey, play this song," and I'm like, "How do you know about this?" Because usually it's just like my friends playing or my friends watching. Like I throw the link randomly around, and people that don't play the game watch, and they're kind of just like, "Man, that's cool," and like that's no problem at all. But it's cool when you start to see the community start to acknowledge you and like be like, "Hey, play this," and you're like, "Okay," and then they're like, "Whoa, wait, that's actually kind of cool," and I'm like, "Thanks." One guy was like, "Play Oro," like he specifically was like, "Play Ouroboros," and I was like, "How do you know that song?" He's like, "I'm level 600 and something." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you would know that song." And then the last stream I had playing Muse Dash, there were a few people in there that were like, "Hey, you should play this song. I really like this song. I play this on mobile. Like, this is really fun." And then some person was like, "How come everyone that plays Muse Dash is a machine?"
I mean, basically, yeah. Like, if you ever watch like Javi play Muse Dash on one of his streams, it's just mechanical. Like, actually, just it's like the type of things you see in those YouTube videos where you see like people in like Japanese arcades just perfecting songs, and you're like, it's so seamless. So, yeah, it's really
it's
really
it's
good.
fun. It feels good, man. It's really keeping me sane since thankfully round one is open again in Fox Valley. I had some people go out. I had some of the people from the Dance Rush community go out there and play. Tomorrow, Dave and Buster's opens up, but my friend who works there was like, "Yo, you better not show your ass up here," and I'm like, "Dude, no."
Just like wait it out, please.
Yeah, no, he was like waited out because I mean, yeah, I can at least go to round one, be in my corner, and mind my business, and not deal with anyone else. Because I mean, like, the music game section is like one part of its own, and no one ever goes over there. But I'll yeah.
Hey, David, we should take a trip.
Nice.
Me and you to
I'd be down.
I'll
to take a trip.
I'll play Dance Rush in a match.
Hold on, you telling me y'all ain't trying to take me?
Of course,
we're talking about going with you.
Oh, okay, all right. I heard me and you. I heard with me and you. I was like, okay.
Yeah, boy.
It's like I'm right here, but okay, I'm right here.
I was like, damn.
So like with the Muse Dash community, when you see that people are joining your streams and stuff, it kind of like I guess would like match the vibes of like being at a cabinet at one of the arcades with one of the music games, and then you just see like someone else come up and they're just like either watching you play or you guys are just vibing that way. Do you wish that like Muse Dash had like some type of online multiplayer mode where you guys could like have your own separate tracks and be like just vibing together somehow that way, or?
No, not really. I think Muse Dash is definitely a good game where you kind of just vibe. You just vibe. And like whoever's gonna do it with you is gonna be there with you.
Okay.
Because like there's not much like at least with DDR you're like or like Dance Rush you're like dancing together. When you're playing Sound Voltex you're like or like Groove Coaster you're doing these things together where it's like it's a very I guess like niche kind of thing.
Like online
especially when you
would be different. It wouldn't hit the same like
it would not hit the same for me, not at all. And like the only way it would hit the same is if I'm doing it on an arcade cabinet online.
Yeah. Okay.
I know Os is kind of like that though. People play games and then people play songs and then they do stuff online, and like that will work. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like Muse Dash is kind of an exception. I don't think it's a bad idea,
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't do it. I just want to watch someone or someone watch me, and we kind of just groove out.
So since
Can't
this
even
game,
play like
yeah,
Osu. The game is hard. Well, it's
Yeah.
not hard.
Yeah.
It's not that it's hard. I don't like the mechanics of it.
That's fair.
I don't like the visual idea that like
the game does
because
do
it,
a lot sometimes.
I tried
not
playing
gonna lie.
Osu. I didn't get super into it like some of my friends that play Osu.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's one of those games where it's for a certain crowd, certain people.
But
well, the
I
music.
just
yeah.
I think Osu would be good if it was touchscreen.
Yeah.
As in like not using
Not using a
a
mouse.
tablet or using a mouse or anything. I think it would just be good as a touchscreen game.
I have it on my laptop, which is a touchscreen laptop, and it's better playing it that way on my laptop that has a touchscreen.
I love the Leap Beat agents,
But
man.
huh?
It's like
It's like I love the Leap Beat agents.
yeah, because like Osu reminds me a lot of I like the touchscreen like idea like mechanic behind it because like when I think about games when I think about like rhythm games like freaking Citus and Demo that like Rayark Inc. does. Like
Yeah.
those are amazing. But like the thing is that like I don't have to find myself going all over the place to hit different things to make sure that they all work. I mean, yeah, I still have to tap the life out of the actual screen to get the note sound and stuff to make sure that I actually hit it. But like it doesn't feel like my eyes are just dilated all over the place from like this bright image in the background that's covering the possible like buttons I'm supposed to be pressing. That's kind of weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So Javi, since Muse Dash is more like a kind of like a niche title right now, but it's very accessible. Where can people get the game?
You can get the game on PC. You can get the game on Switch. You can also get the game on mobile.
I'm not about playing on
Um,
mobile.
Some people have a pretty decent time on mobile. They said the person that I was talking to, they said they can only go up to like 9s or 10s, which is understandable because once you start hitting 10s and 11s, you really you need four
You need a
fingers.
button. Yeah.
You need four fingers. I personally recommend playing it on PC, just because it just feels so good to have damn near any controller you want.
Now Javi uses a fight stick.
Yeah, I use a fight stick. Can I still get that mechanical keyboard? Because I'll use that too.
I could talk to you about that after the show. Yes.
Cool, bet.
Yes.
Because yeah, you can customize your settings. You can choose damn near any USB controller you want as long as it connects. And Switch, I guess it would be good on Switch, but just find a good controller. Ultimately, what works for you is finding the controller that will work for you. If you can't do that, or if it's hard for you to do that, then I think the game will get a lot more difficult, which will make it unenjoyable.
Yeah. Cool. Good talk on the Muse Dash segment, Javi. Good stuff.
No problem.
Jamir, you're into that weeb shit. You've been watching anime. Talk
I
about
have.
that one anime, Kimi ni Todoke.
Oh my god.
From
Oh my
me
God.
to you.
Yeah, so like
Uh-huh.
that's another slice of life series that like I was going through Hulu a couple of weeks ago to find something new to look at because it's what I do. And my brother was telling me that like this series is hella old. It's from 2009, and I just never saw it until now. So I was like, how did I miss this? But like, it's hella funny and it's hella cute because it's basically this girl who gets mistaken as like a freaking like ghost. But on the outside, like the girl's actually pretty.
Yeah.
She's really pretty, and like you just watch her the relationship develop with this guy who has been interested in her since they met. But like it's just basically watching these two kind of do like the shonen IE thing where like they don't really say that they love each other until the end, but one of them does, and then it kind of just works that way. But like it's got like 2 seasons, fairly long actually. Season 1 was like I think 24 episodes, but like it's really long actually. But
Yeah,
it's
the
cool.
name sounds familiar. I don't like. Yeah, it sounds familiar, but I don't think I've ever watched it before.
Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's really cute. It's really funny. It really talks about like it really its really main focus is about like communication and how like the idea of being interpreted as something that you're really not, and then people starting to understand like you shouldn't be ostracizing and outcasting people based off of like how they look or like rumors.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it's basically just watching that and all these people like come to this girl's defense when she like has been trying her hardest to do what to be understood by everyone else. It's a really cute show.
Nice.
I'm gonna probably finish season 2 sometime next week when I get some time.
You
But
said it's on
if
Hulu,
you,
right?
yeah, it's on Hulu.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, there's like a whole slice of life section, and it's somewhere in there.
You watching it dubbed or subbed?
I believe it's only subbed. If it was dubbed, I would have an issue with it.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Jamir
Yeah.
has been like on a roll every week. He's just like, hey guys, I'm checking out this other anime. So you should probably watch. I need to actually, like, I just need to take a break from games and just clear out my Crunchyroll queue. That's what I need to do, honestly.
One of these days you'll actually.
One day I'll do that. Let's see.
Me with my
But
game queue.
I have been slowly watching things on Netflix. My Netflix queue. I started up watching Pokemon Journeys, which is the latest season of Pokemon that is available in America. It's been on in Japan since like Sword and Shield released, but so this is basically the Sword and Shield quote unquote series. But I like this. I really like this season of Pokemon. It has a whole different vibe to it compared to every other one that's came out. Sun and Moon kind of started this whole trend or this new wave of Pokemon anime where it's Ash and Pikachu are the main characters still, but they're not just straight up going for badges like they were in every other anime before Sun and Moon. Unlike Sun and Moon, where Ash was like in school and it was kind of like a slice of life anime in that regard, with a sprinkle of the gym battles and stuff. This one is the first episode of the anime is kind of like a prologue where you get to see how Pikachu grew up. And that's never happened before. That was a big deal when the season first started, because they were like, oh, here's a Pichu. What's the significance of the Pichu? And everyone's like, oh shit, is that the Pikachu? Is that the Pichu? So that was cool. You got to see that episode, prequel to like Ash growing up too. And then there's a new character. His name is Go. And in Japan, I guess, I don't know if Go is defined as like a boy in the Japanese version of the anime, but Go is just straight up a guy in this one. Because he has a very what's the word, gender fluid, where you can like look at be
androgynous.
Yeah, very androgynous face. Because Go like blushes sometimes. I'm like, oh, that's cute. Like, yeah. So Go will end up getting a score bunny. I haven't gotten to that part of the anime yet, but I like this series because it's more, like I said, more free flowing than the previous seasons. Because Go and Ash end up becoming like Pokemon research buddies for the professor of Vermilion City. So they're basically tasked to like go around the world of Pokemon and help Pokemon, research Pokemon, capture Pokemon, and it's just all that type of stuff. And Ash is still like the rambunctious battler character, so he wants to do that type of stuff. Go is more like, I want to get to know Pokemon, so he's pretty much like the breeder type character that he usually travels with. I haven't gotten to the part where the girl's traveling with them yet. Even if she does, I'm not sure. But the animation looks great. I really love how they've gone over more like a loose feeling animation style with the Pokemon anime versus like how it was before in the earlier styles. Like the amount of the action in the battles looks so good now. So like I really enjoy that. Pretty much the Pokemon anime again is just bringing home the fact that a Pokemon game where you're just going for gym badges isn't enough. Like, I want to be able to explore the world of Pokemon and just live in that world. So that's the type of stuff that I'm dealing with while watching this show. But it's really good. I'm enjoying myself. It's dubbed on Netflix. It's not subbed. But yeah, I'm just enjoying just having it on while I have nothing else to watch or I'm just eating. That's like currently my show for that fill right now. So really good. Pokemon Journeys. I think it's like 12 episodes.
So,
It's still up. I think it's still updating actually.
Yeah, it's still going on in Japan and stuff, but right now the Journeys version that's on Netflix is only up to 12. So
yeah, I'm surprised because it's actually doing pretty good for I think it's doing pretty good for them now. It's really funny because it's watching like how people are taking like Pokemon Sword and Shield right now, and then like taking on Journeys. Journeys has more of a following than the actual game does right now.
I wouldn't doubt
which
that.
is
It's really good.
which is like a, in my opinion, it's a first for. It's been a while, since it's been that way because, in my opinion, I don't think Pokemon has ever really been. I don't think the games or or like the actual show, they haven't really been in sync since the third and fourth generations.
Yeah.
And I think that like after those two generations happened, Pokemon went through a very weird shift.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you ever notice, like in the games for like Gen 3 through like 5 talk about some really heavy they had some really dark topics.
Yeah.
Like about like Gen 3 being about like global warming and stuff, and then like transcending space and time and like practically destroying the universe, and like 4 and then like 5 just being like, we're just gonna get rid of people so Pokemon can live forever and then there will be no humans. Like these are very underlying dark tones from like the villain perspectives of like each series having a different villain. But like I think the Pokemon company realized that it was getting a little bit too dark, and I don't think that was the narrative they wanted. And so like the plot for Pokemon has been shifting dynamically, and I think Gen 7 is the one that pushed it off, because when Sun and Moon started, it kind of like fixed it a little bit.
And even
it started getting abstract.
And even with like the Pokemon Origins thing that they did, where they were like independent shorts. I haven't watched the Pokemon things that they did for the Sun and Moon character, or not the Sun and Moon, the Sword and Shield trainers and stuff like that, like the Mesa animation or like the Bee animation and stuff like that. Like I haven't watched those yet, but the Pokemon anime has honestly, they've been killing it over there in that studio when they've been making these, because I'm not surprised that this season of Pokemon has been taken off as it is, because like I said, it was just a lot of the same, just seeing Ash go from gym to gym, hilarity ensues, and then we just wait for the end of the season and that's it. It's kind of like the game in that regard, where everyone's just like, we want something different, we're not going to keep watching or playing the same thing. Some of us are going to fall off. But now, since the anime is starting to take a different turn, I understand that people are starting to jump back onto it now, because I'm actually enjoying it like a lot. And I haven't watched Pokemon anime in years. Like in the second episode, not a spoiler, they put it in the trailers. The second episode, there's a fucking Lugia, and Ash is riding on the back of a Lugia in episode 2.
Oh,
that's never happened before.
You gotta realize that was the very start of the episode. Actually,
exactly.
It was a freaking raid battle, and I'm pretty sure like no one talks about this. That Lugia killed all of those trainers in Pokemon.
Oh yeah, Lugia
wiped
everybody.
Killed all of them.
And Pikachu is still written to just be an OP, like level 100 Pikachu. Like freaking Pikachu's Thunderbolt took on a double Hyper Beam from Gyarados and a Tyranitar. So Pikachu's still OP. Just by plot device, but yeah, show's good. I recommend watching it if you haven't watched Pokemon in a while. I still think you'd enjoy it. Also, the voice actor for Go is also the voice actor for Remy, who is another character of color that I was watching on Big City Greens. So I'm enjoying that. I'm starting to notice all these black voice actors doing stuff. Shout out to Cuphead's voice actor. Can't wait for that. But yeah, that's great. Pokemon Journeys. Watch that. Let's see, what else? Do we have any more anime-based stuff going on here? Well, we got Ninjala, so we can talk Ninjala.
Yeah, we can talk about Ninjala.
Yeah, let's talk Ninjala. So,
all right.
For any of, we all can talk about this too. So, last week was the release date. Finally, because I've been talking about this game for months. Literally for months.
Every day. Man, I'm so ready for Ninjala to be out. I can't wait for Ninjala to come out. I'm so ready to stream Ninjala.
Alright, I'm still enjoying Ninjala.
Yeah, but you're not. It's finally
out.
Finally out. You can play
I finally downloaded it today. Actually, I haven't had time to actually play it since I haven't been able to play it since the beta.
Mm-hmm. But Ninjala finally released, and it was met with, well, the first day was rough as shit. Honestly, the first like 24 hours of the game being a thing, it was rough. Like the connection issues and stuff are pretty much for the most part ironed out. I can get into games pretty consistently and stuff now, so I'm happy about that. Only thing that's bugging me is all the stuff they gave us in the beta. I don't have access to that. I don't even have that as like, you played the beta, so here, you can have some of this stuff. No, all my whole thing got reset, so now I had to get the battle pass so I could start fighting through that to get some of the things that I had in the beta. So I'm a little annoyed about that.
Again,
my swaggy ass ninja is gone.
Again, I say, I don't know why you thought they were going to spoil you like that.
I don't know why either. But the game is just cracked over 2 million downloads earlier today.
Wow.
Yeah, they've been hyping that game up. They've been marketing this game very well. A lot of people know about it. Even freaking Markiplier dropped on the day that the game launched that he got a sponsorship from Gung Ho, just the team behind the game. Yeah, he got a Gung Ho sponsorship and he streamed it the day of.
But he couldn't. The
game was so broken he couldn't properly stream it and show off the game. Like, it was so busted the day of. So that was a damn shame. I felt bad for them. I was like secondhand embarrassed for them.
Yeah.
But it's working fine now. Like I said, the game has a curve. I would say. I don't think it's just easy enough to just jump in and play Ninjala. The thing that has a lot of people and feeling some type of way about this game is mainly the parry system.
Yeah.
That's like the main bread and butter of this game is the parry system, where you get this thing called an S burst, where you get it once per life, which can basically give you a chance to get out of getting comboed by somebody. And when you do that, you basically end up in an anime-style parry thing that's happened in many anime fighters, where rock, paper, scissors, whoever picks the right move, they win that encounter. And then you basically can follow up and pretty much get a free kill on them. So that's such a big part of the gameplay. A lot of people are pretty much like, this game couldn't be competitive even if it wanted to be, because every encounter is a chance that you'll lose. So that's a whole thing. Hey, shout out Dillo for the sub, man. How you doing? Thank you for coming to the podcast today. But yeah, a lot of people just really have mixed reviews about it. So if you can get around or figure out the mechanics with the parry system, and also how the flow of combat works with all the different weapons and stuff like that, because it's kind of like Splatoon, where there's a whole bunch of weapons that are, there's actually, I think, like maybe there's like 8 different weapons, and there's like 2 subsidiaries for each individual follow. There's 2 subsidiaries for each individual weapon, but it's like figuring out which thing you want to use. That's where it comes down to, like, figuring out the combos and things like that. So like, I like using the fidget spinner version of the yo-yo. I don't like using like the regular yo-yo where it's like you can dunk on people.
What's the I haven't played with the fidget spinner yo-yo. I've only played with the one that you can dunk with. What's the difference with that? What's the final combo thing with the fidget spinner?
Oh, with like the AoE attack type of thing? Yeah.
Because I know with the regular one, it you dunk.
Yeah, you can dunk on people with it. Yeah. Literally Dunkin' Donuts. That's the yo-yo I'd be using, the donut. It's so fun. The game only has 2 maps right now: the city, which is huge as shit, and the WNA Academy, which is basically a cage match with like outer areas, and that area is chaotic as hell. So it's, yeah, I hope they add another map at least soon,
I'm excited
honestly.
to see if they add more maps.
They're gonna add more stuff, but
they add more maps.
This game is so heavily monetized right now. So one thing that a lot of people don't like is it's kind of like, it's like every other free-to-play game, where you can jump into the game for free, don't have to pay anything. You can just jump in, start leveling up your character with the free-to-play currency, which is medals, and then if you want to pay for that premium currency, which is the Jala, you can start getting cosmetics. You can also get a Ninjala pass, which is basically like a battle pass, and you can get stuff like that. It's still $10, yes. Okay.
I never bought it.
I bought it, and I was like, I wanted to give this game $10 because they totally could have charged for this game. I thought that's what they were gonna do in the first place, but they decided not to. So
I'm pleasantly surprised that that the game is free to play.
Yeah, and the game is so aesthetically pleasing. It's so Nintendo that there's no wonder this game cracked 2 million downloads in like the first week. At all. Like, I'm not surprised by that.
Looking forward to people cosplaying their
I can't wait for the Ninjala
kids.
cosplayer.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to see somebody make, I kind of started seeing people make like cosplay props of the weapons, like the sword, the foam sword thing. Someone made a cosplay prop of that.
Yeah.
I want to see somebody do a good job of making the yo-yo where it kind of like hovers in the air. So it'll probably be like on like a stick or something. and it'll be like a giant fidget spinner or something. That'll be really cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or just
someone's
like the
gonna make
hammer.
a working fidget spinner thing.
Someone's, you know, for sure a Monster Hunter cosplayer is gonna just make that hammer. You know damn well someone's gonna
I'm
make that
excited to see what cosplay crafters do, and then I'll be like, wow, this is making me feel like I should get into crafting, and then I won't do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. But what have you guys been thinking about the game? I've been gushing about it, but yeah, what do you guys think?
Don't you love it when you attack someone, right?
And you lose,
and then for some reason they get out of the attack chain, but when they attack you, there's nothing you can do about it because you're getting knocked up, so you just die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad game design in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's no way to counter that.
Yeah, literally,
It's stupid.
The frames and the hit stun are so busted. Because like someone could tap you once, and you fly up in the air for like a second, and you can't do anything.
It's so irritating. So
you have to hope that someone comes in third parties and interrupts the person who is attacking you, so you can at least have an ability to jump out of it and then dash away or land.
Yeah.
Or like give you the opportunity to like do some type of block or something. But once you get caught in a combo, you're just stuck in it.
I don't like that either. And then my biggest issue.
Yeah,
is
the recovery in it is weird. In my opinion, I don't think there's a way to really recover because I like when I was playing the beta, I didn't like the. There was a little bit of issues with the lock-on system because like I can't follow different people or like switch in between. So whoever I hit is whoever I'm stuck with. But it's also like, as I was saying like before, it's really combo heavy. You actually could do a standard. You could do like a 3 or 4 hit standard combo, and then do like the teleporting like ninjutsu combo thing. Add that in, and then do like a finisher, and then they're just straight out.
Yeah,
like you have a whole set. Yeah, and all the moves I learned that, and it was also like one of them. Which is really nice is that like if you switch between the two, you can actually stop mid combo to break off, which is like what I'm finding with Ninjala is that you actually have to, even though it's like it's 8 people or 8 to 10 people on a map, you still have to think about like who's left over and who has the most points. And like I don't want to be fighting. I don't have to fight to win. I can just go break things and then leave and then still run.
That's
that's the best part because like getting kills is only like it's like the same thing with like Splatoon. I get a point system for that, but like it doesn't matter because at the end of it, who still has the most? Me. So
yeah. Well, like I would say like the difference between like this game and Splatoon. Like in Splatoon, kills don't really matter. It's all like who has the most. If anything, getting kills in Splatoon is more just like distracting or interrupting the other team from getting those points from splatting the ground. But this game, every single thing
kills
you do
count.
gives you points.
All
so
the e-points count.
If you get a regular kill on somebody, you get 100 points. But if you get an e-point on somebody, which is basically if you are able to stick them to the ground where they can't move, which basically usually by getting an ult kill on them, or using or breaking their weapon and then gum sticking them and then killing them, that gets you an epone. Or if you parry them and then basically follow up with a combo afterwards, where you basically win the parry, then you can kill them that way and get an epone. So epones are like worth 200 points, but if you can get multiple back to back, those are point multipliers. So being aggressive in this game can get you a lot of points, and that basically can help you win the game. But it's so busted how like interactions can go, like we were saying, how you can get caught up in a combo and just get screwed over. The flow of the gameplay where you're like, oh, okay, I know exactly how I would do this encounter, but then like somebody could just shoot a missile at you and then everyone dies. Or you can run out of your parries because the parries aren't unlimited. You only get like 1 per life unless you have like a shinobi card, which is like a perk, and you can then have 2 parries. But if you mess up your parry, then you're basically dead. So like I said, every encounter is pretty much a roll of the dice whether or not you're going to succeed or not. So but yeah, the drones 100% are that's one of the elements of the gameplay. Going for the drones, like that's why I like playing on the city more than playing on the WNA Academy stage,
I feel like
which
that's
is the more square one, because I actually have the opportunity to run away from people and get drone points, and then I can like survey the area and see who's alone or I can like see what encounters I can get into rather than someone spawning on me in a corner and like stuff like that. So I like playing on the city more than on the other stage. People say that they don't like playing on the city because it's too big, but once you get used to where everything is and you get used to the navigation, like using the gum dashes and using the boost ramps on the walls and using the springboards, I have fun navigating the city map.
I feel like I've done when I was playing the very few times I've played on the city map. I felt like I was able to destroy more things and end up doing better.
I damn near win every time I play on the city.
Yeah, but since the game launched, I feel like I've only played on the little square on the like the square map thing. Like I have only seen the city, maybe once or twice, if that.
Yeah, when you're playing by yourself, it's harder to play on the city. For sure.
Don't know why. It's kind of annoying. I get bored of the same map after a while.
But yeah.
I'll give it like a 7, I guess.
Yeah, as if I have to give it like a number rating right now, I give it a. After playing it, like I remember day one, we were getting so agitated because of the internet connection issues and the parry system. That I was probably like in like the 6 range, but I think since then I've been playing it a lot. I think I probably have like 20 something hours, damn near 30 hours logged in this game already. No, I'm at least in 20 something hours logged in this game, but I'd probably give it an 8. I'd probably give it an 8.
An 8?
Personally, I'd probably give it an 8.
Huh.
Yeah, I give it an 8.
Huh.
When the combat gets fixed a little bit better, I'll give that shit a 7.
Yeah. You said I'll give it a 7. Also,
play it later tonight, so
the
we'll
last
see.
thing that really annoys me about this game, which is pretty much every single person who plays the game agrees with this, the cosmetics, not the things your ninja can wear, but the cosmetics that you can use on your weapon to change how it looks, those are consumable because it's gum. So every time you use it, it gets used up. But each individual weapon has its own skin. Each individual weapon has its own base skin, but then there's an in-game gacha machine, which is a gumball machine, and you can pay 100 Jala, which is basically $1, to roll this gacha machine and get 10 different skins for across all the weapons that you have in the game. So there's no guarantee that you'll get a skin for a weapon that you actually use, as is the gacha system in most things. But there's also like legendary skins that look really clean, like the fidget spinner that I use. It can become like a cookie thing, or I got these 2 really rare skins where it like gets jewel encrusted. It almost looks like it looks like the Infinity Gauntlet in fidget spinner form, and it looks dope. It looks so dope, but I can't use the skin because it will disappear if I use it once. Are you kidding me? No, I'm not gonna. So every time I get a good skin, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Too bad I can't use it because I don't want to lose it. So I'm gonna just have it as bragging rights in case it ever goes away. It's just gonna be sitting in the closet, taking up space, I guess.
And lose it.
Yeah, it's so dumb. So like that's the main thing a lot of people are complaining about. Some people say that it'd be cool if instead of, at least with the legendary skins, like when there's like a recolor, like, oh, your fidget spinner is like red now instead of white base color. No, I don't care. But if I have like a legendary skin for my weapon, they said that if you were to like end up rolling and getting at least like 5 or so of a specific legendary or rare skin, then you can combine them and make it a permanent skin. So then you're basically still giving the gacha machine money to try to get more of those gumballs, but it's like if you hold on to them enough and you're patient, then you'll be able to just have it permanently. I think that's what they should do. I'm pretty sure they might take that into consideration in terms of making the players happy, because it's like, yeah, it's gum, it's consumable, but it's still really stupid. It makes players not want to use the cool things they have, unless I guess you have money like that and you just toss a whole bunch of money into the gacha machine and end up having like multiple copies of a cool skin. But other than that, no one's using their weapon skins. You hardly ever see them unless they're basic recolors. But yeah, that's my Ninjala rant for right now. I'm probably gonna make like an official Ninjala review video and toss it up on the YouTube channel at some point soon. But like I said, the game is 100% free. You don't even need a Nintendo Switch Online to play it. It's basically like Fortnite. So I would recommend checking it out if you want something to have on your Switch that's kind of fun. You can do custom games with friends, so you can like set up an 8-player match, 4v4 team battles, or you can just do free for all with your friends. So that's a thing. So that's kind of cool, I guess.
I need to play it more. I only played it a little bit, not nearly as much as you have.
Yeah, and just like Splatoon, you have to be a certain level to play team battles, but you can get to level 5 really quickly.
Well, I was able to play team battles. I don't even know when I got to level 5, actually.
Yeah.
Boy, level 1 through 5 is busted in Splatoon.
Yeah.
It's hella busted, boy.
Everyone just uses Splattershot Juniors the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Ninjala talk for right now. Play Ninjala. That's all I'm gonna say. Hashtag on hope he sponsor me. Let's see. What else are we gonna talk about? Javi. You have been watching you've been on the musical side of YouTube because you are indeed a music major.
Yes, I am. Hello.
Yes, and it's funny because when it comes to like YouTube, sometimes you'll end up watching one video and you'll fall into a hole of another video, and then you'll be like, I'm in a weird neighborhood. I don't usually be on this side of YouTube. These YouTubers are the type of people where I'm like, if this is gonna make my recommendeds weird, they're gonna be like, do you want to see these type of videos? And I'm like, I don't even know who these people are. But yeah, you've been watching TwoSetViolin, which is a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk about them.
So TwoSetViolin is it's about two Asian Australians or Australian Asians. I don't know. Anyway, they're both violinists, very skilled violinists that are really, really like skilled music majors, and they went to like university for, I believe, performance, and they also fall down that whole route of, oh, you're disappointing your parents because you decided to go into music, blah blah. Oh well, all right, let's make videos and memes. But they're really cool because it's really nice to have a what's the word? Have a channel where it's classical musicians looking at the world from a classical musician perspective. Because it's a really it's a really weird community to be in. Being a classically trained musician and then looking at how the rest of the world around you does not understand who you are and how you operate and what you do. So to have like a channel where you can casually just talk theory and casually just talk about this random music stuff that like a normal, not normal, but like an average person that wouldn't know a lot about music, they would likely not understand it or really get it. But like for this channel, it's just like standard. Like if you don't know who Stravinsky is and you're watching this channel,
A lot of
like
jokes will go over your head. You just be like,
a lot of stuff will go, like if you don't know who Rachmaninoff is, like you're probably not gonna get half of this stuff. Like it's just a lot of memery, but they also do really cool things where they will invite like their friends who are also very skilled musicians on, and they'll like do challenges. Like they had one person blindfolded playing piano pieces that were like really, really, really like virtuoso style stuff.
That's cool.
With different hands. So like they would, if you had to play, you know, if you're playing piano, you have to use your left hand and right hand. You would switch your hands, and you would play it still. And like she just did it like it was nothing. They even had one where they had another guy who's also a violinist with like $1 million violin, and then it's these two guys with like their rinky dinky like $100,000 violins maybe, and they're playing each other's violin, and the people that are blindfolded have to find out which violin is playing and who's playing it.
Oh.
I think I've actually seen I've come across them by accident a couple times.
They're great. They
yeah. I think at that video you were talking about with the violins, like was it like a guess the price type thing?
There was also that.
Okay, I saw that one. I forgot.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to link me to them again because I found them.
Oh, I got you.
I found them by accident, and then like I never saw their stuff on my feed again. But like,
yeah,
when
no,
I
it's
see
great.
them, I recognize them.
It's great. They do so much, and
Yeah.
it's. I remember one time, a long time ago, they were touring, and I didn't go, but I should have went because it's great. It's great to see them because they're just like awkward in general. One of them is like really awkward, and the other one's like outgoing and silly. And the one that's outgoing and silly also has perfect pitch, so he memes about having perfect pitch, but
Nice.
and is also like somewhat better at theory. But it's really cool to see both of these people kind of like work together and not really be competitive, but just like make jokes and just be silly towards each other all the time.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's great.
It's really interesting. Like I always say, like whenever I find out about a YouTube channel that, because they have 2 million subscribers, I've
Yeah.
never seen their channel in my life. Like I've never
Yeah.
seen these videos before. So it's crazy how like the YouTube ecosystem is so big, and it gets it can get broken down into districts. Like literally, you can just stumble onto like musical YouTube, and like I'm always in the gamer side of YouTube. Like I don't know what sports side of YouTube even looks like at all. So that's cool that
Yeah.
this is like a cool content creator that I've never heard of. So I might actually look at a couple more of their videos because that actually sounds really interesting. The violin thing you just mentioned, and also you said they see like people playing instruments in movies, and like they just like see if they're actually playing it or if it's like a
Yeah.
or something.
So they'll like look at movies and they'll be like, all right, that person does not know how to play the violin, or like that person definitely does not know how to play this. Or they'll be like, oh wait, they're holding this right. It seems like they might actually know how to play this, or they're just a very good actor.
Yeah.
There was also a video where they made fun of this guy because this guy claimed to be the fastest violin player in the
I
world
was just about to bring that video up.
by playing Flight of the Bumblebee.
Yeah.
And there's a signature quote that says, if you play it fast, you can play it slow. And everyone looks at that statement as that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. Don't you ever say that again. And they just make fun of him for it.
Yeah.
They also have another video where they actually go back to a school. They go to some random school with like elementary school kids, and they just sit in the class as if they don't know anything. And the teacher just lets them go with it, and the kids are like very cooperative, and it's very cool. And then they come up later and they're like, by the way, we're like this level, and they play this, and everyone's like, what? Yeah, it's great.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks for sharing those guys with us, Javi.
I think that was one of the first videos of theirs that I saw, was they were talking about the guy who was like, oh, I can play Flight of the Bumblebee in like, what was it, like a minute or like 30 seconds? But then they broke it down and was like, yeah, so he's playing it fast, but he's not playing it right. And
Not at all.
It was just so funny watching them just talk about this dude. It was amazing.
Cool. Man, musical YouTube is a whole thing. I love it so much. Let's see. We got 2 types of drama, and we have Kingdom Hearts. Which one are we touching first?
Kingdom Hearts.
You ain't about that life, bro.
We're gonna do drama both times, or we're gonna do we're not gonna split it up.
We're gonna do drama all at the same time.
Okay, we're gonna do drama all the way. Just drama the rest of the podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
Jamir, you've been playing. Well, I guess you finished Kingdom Hearts 3. I guess I don't know. Yeah.
Who hasn't?
Kingdom
David.
Hearts 3. Tell me
Yes,
about
I
that.
finished Kingdom Hearts 3 5 days after it released, and then I think 5 hours after the DLC released, because it wasn't that long. But no, I am re-going through Kingdom Hearts 3 again because I got into an argument last week with someone on a Facebook page and also on a Discord server about why I liked Kingdom Hearts 3 and why they despised Kingdom Hearts 3 and have grown to like start becoming to hate the franchise as a whole. And so through that debate, I said, well, let me just play it again because maybe I'm missing the point here. And also because like Kingdom Hearts has been on a hot topic for me within the last week because of all the stuff that got announced last week.
The MOM thing.
The Melody of Memories game, and also with the new
Dark Road.
the new expansion for the cell phone game, Dark
Road.
Yes. Yeah. So it's been which has been great so far. It has been lovely. I don't play the mobile game because I don't play mobile games. Period. But I do follow the story for Kingdom Hearts very thoroughly. So when people upload things, I just have to do my research. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3, like I've been trying to like figure out if it's my favorite game of the franchise, or if it's in like a top 5, or maybe I just don't like it. Honestly, I like Kingdom Hearts 3, and that's what I've come down to realize. It's probably my favorite one, despite all of the other ones that come out. Not because it's like the newest one. I actually think that out of all the franchises, this is probably my favorite one of the series because it's the only time I've actually really liked Sora throughout any of the games. Like, it's the only real time I've liked him as a character. And I'm really big about like characters, especially like characters who exist and belong for a reason, and they need reason. And I feel like this game finally, I feel like this time they actually did it, because the first game, it was like, okay, we have something to work with. And then we got 8 other games before we got the third installment, the third like official installment. But like the third installment is also very strange because like it's broken up into so many different pieces that it's not all in one game. And people will argue that it's an incomplete game because that stuff's not there. But because the creator likes to jump through different mediums to tell the story in different ways, it's kind of like a 50-50 with some people. A lot of people don't like the story for Kingdom Hearts 3. A lot of people think it's been rushed, it's dry, the worlds don't add anything to it. But it's also a different take for like the actual main story for the game as a whole, in my opinion, because like I feel like it's the first time I actually get to see Sora think about what he's doing, how he's affected by it, and he's actually like considering like how people feel versus like saying, it'll sort itself out. It's no longer a sort itself out situation anymore. Which is like a reflection of like most people in my actual life that I know who kind of just bullshit their way through things.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I've been playing Kingdom Hearts 3. I love it. That's really all I can say about it. I've been like binging it because it's a lot of things, and I've done like a couple of playthroughs where I haven't like completely like platinumed the game, which I'm actually going to try to do. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it for people who haven't played. If you haven't played Kingdom Hearts, then whatever. But like, play it. You might actually like it. Some of them you won't like for various reasons, because each game plays differently to a degree. But I mean, Javi knows. Javi knows.
Yeah, buddy.
So that's really all I'm gonna say about it. I'm not gonna go into like plot and all that stuff because I don't even know where I should tell you to start. Cause
Gotcha. Okay. I was just like, okay. I was waiting to see if Javi was gonna chime in at all, but that's all you got to say.
I can.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can.
I know you can 100% chime in on this next topic if you want to move on to that one.
Oh, okay. Well, before we do that, I just want to say I like Kingdom Hearts 3 a lot. The story, I'm an impatient man. And one lie was told to me, which isn't a problem, but I need this lie to become a truth. I need something to happen so I can feel better about some characters in this goddamn story. And I'm not gonna play the mobile game. I'm gonna watch it just like Jamir is, and I'm gonna wait until Mom comes out because I love rhythm games and I love Kingdom Hearts and I love Yoko Shimomura and all that she's put in here, and Takeharu Ishimoto. I love what he's put in here as well. I'm gonna play that damn game to the bottom of my heart. I'm sorry, I'm burping. This pizza's really good, but best believe I want my characters to be okay, and that's all I want to say about it. What's the next topic, David?
Hashtag maybe play Skullgirls question mark. I don't know.
Speaking of my characters being okay, so there is drama in the Skullgirls community, and it's rough. So there's this cosplayer that I follow named Bunny Ayu, short for Bunny Ayumi, and I remember because I was talking with you guys about it, the stream where she first started playing Skullgirls, and was like, oh man, I gotta play this game. I gotta talk to people about it. I gotta interact with people in the community. And then she's rated another stream to which there was this guy named Mike Z who is one of the main faces of Skullgirls. He was the main coder for it. And they would talk a little bit, and Bunny was just interacting with a lot of people talking about Skullgirls because she really likes the game. But then about a few days ago, she came out with some posts talking about she doesn't feel comfortable playing Skullgirls anymore because of Mike Z and the face that is, and she didn't want to play the game and then be reminded of the conversations that they would have. And as you know, people usually eat that shit up and agree on the bat, which, you know, understandable. But thankfully, she was also nice enough to give us some context on what she was talking about. So she sent the conversations, and they were weird. Like, if anyone knows Mike Z, Mike Z is a very smart person, but to my opinion, Mike Z's kind of weird. He's kind of an unusual dude. I chalk it up to like being awkward and just not knowing how to talk to people sometimes. But reading the conversation, it was very awkward. It was very awkward. It was as if he was really intrigued and knowing about her and like her business, while also being a lewd model. So he was like trying to ask about that, but it was also subtly patronizing. And then he would just say other things that I can't really remember. Like, and it was just weird. The conversation was just weird. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, that's not the problem for me. Because even though, yes, what he said, yeah, you can feel very uncomfortable by it, but I still brought it up to that's Mike Z being real dumb. Mm-hmm. And like not in like a that's just how he is. It's like, no, Mike Z, you're being really fucking stupid right now. But then other people came and spoke up, and they were like, hey, so Mike Z has been doing this for a while now. And I'm like, uh-oh. And so, you know, when other people start speaking up and it starts snowballing, it's like, oh, that's when it's bad news.
Doing this for a while.
Yeah. And so now it's reached the point where popular players in the Skullgirls community, like cosplayers in the Skullgirls community, have really been up in arms about saying, like, you know, we don't like what Mike Z has done. And to be frank, I was very cautious about Mike Z since the last comment he made. There was a stream, and he was commentating on a stream. He wasn't playing, but he was commentating on a stream, and there was someone getting their shit beat in. Like, they had so much pressure on this person that, like, they just didn't know what they could do. And he decided to make a... Yeah, and someone was like, yeah, man, he is really, really cornered right now. Like, there's so much pressure. He doesn't have an opening to do anything. And then Mike Z just goes, I guess you can say he can't breathe. And then it was quiet for the rest of that clip. Exactly like this. So, and it was rough. It was fucking rough.
Like, that was less than a week after that.
It was like 2 days after, right?
It was very frequent after that, yeah.
It was gross, but people didn't, and my friend made a point, people didn't fully cancel Mike Z during that, but people are very strict to cancel Mike Z during this. Mm-hmm. Which, it doesn't take away from this situation, but it kind of like shows you, and to me it kind of shows you like, oh, so we ain't gonna care about this racial matter, because that's just a joke, but we gonna care about this though. Mm-hmm. It's like we should have canceled this man a little bit before this even happened in the first place. We should have canceled him at the George Floyd thing. Uh-huh. That was not cute at all. But that's a side note. Now, because of that Mike Z issue, people know Mike Z. People mistakenly call Mike Z, even though he said this himself. They call him the creator of Skullgirls, and he's not. He even says himself the creator of Skullgirls is Alex Ahad, who is the artist. And because people are connecting the name and the face to the game, people don't want to play Skullgirls. And it's starting to become real hectic and kind of scary for the Skullgirls community, because now everyone has to be like, look, dude, we understand if you don't want to play Skullgirls anymore, but like, if you can just like say fuck Mike Z, but not fuck Skullgirls, like, can you just do that? Because like Skullgirls is such a good game, and like you don't gotta leave Skullgirls just because Mike Z's fucking dumb. But and then apparently there's also just a community of people that don't play the game but just really like the lore and the fandom, and are the lore and like the characters and stuff, and like that's different from the Skullgirls community apparently. Or Skullgirls players versus the Skullgirls like fan base or whatever. I don't know. I forgot exactly what it was called, but there's a difference there that a lot of people acknowledge. But either way, Skullgirls is kind of getting rough because it just got finally like noticed by like Evo and a bunch of other players since COVID.
Yeah, that's
so
really bad timing, to be honest.
The following base for it is like really, really good now, and then it's all about to potentially go to shit because of this. So it's really upsetting.
Yeah, this is like, because this hasn't happened. This has happened like before, where a whole thing is really good, but then one person who apparently worked on that thing, or who was like a really big name with that thing, people associate that with the person, and now everyone's like, oh, so we did just not support this whole thing now? It's like, no, just that person, not the whole thing, no, not at all. So yeah, 100%. Keep playing Skullgirls.
It's hard to do that though, because
game.
like, it's really hard to do that though for some people though, because of like, an example of that would be like if the person who like is involved in that is making some sort of cut from like the game.
Yeah, then you're like, let's mess with.
Then it's kind of like really hard to do that, because like right now, you look at this. If you look as an example, if you look at the situation with that open world thing that they're doing for Harry Potter, no one wants to work on that now. Get it? Because of the whole J.K. Rowling situation.
Thing, yeah.
No one wants any affiliation with it now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really
That's
hard
crazy.
to like. It's really hard to sell that. It's going to be really hard to develop and sell that game right now because no one wants to play with her on it. Especially if she can cut from it. They're like, nope, I don't want her to get nothing.
Yeah, really tricky situation, especially since like for years Javi's been one of the avid play Skullgirls, yeah. And now everyone's just like, do we want it? He's like, yes, you should. Oh, and then
like,
also
please.
And even like earlier, Javi, you were talking about how this could also like fuck Evo if they were to if they were to even consider taking Skullgirls off the docket, because it's one of the major games on the roster for Evo Online. And
so the thing about Skullgirls and them Fighting Herds, they're both, if I remember correctly, under Mike Z's engine. So they're both ran by his thing. And if people know more about that, then people could potentially be like, hey, yo, fuck them Fighting Herds. And it's like, bro.
Like, no, they just released their patch 1. Don't do that. No.
And then like what my thought process is, that would fuck Evo if they decide to take them out.
Those are the two most anticipated games, I'd say, right
now. Well, that, and also, if you're trying to do Evo Online, Skullgirls and them Fighting Herds are some of the best online fighting games right now because of their rollback netcode. Like, it's phenomenal how good the game can be ran. Like, Mike Z, up till like, I think like a few weeks ago, was beta testing GGPO, like netcode shit, for Skullgirls and letting people test it on stream. Mm-hmm. And now it's even to the point where he has it to the point where you can detect if someone is using Wi-Fi or using Ethernet and how much ping they have. Like, you can already say how much ping someone have, but you can even tell like if they're using Wi-Fi or not. Like, it will call you out. It'll be like, why is there lag? Oh, it's because of you. Okay. But if Evo takes that out, like, they will actually fuck themselves over. Because then they won't really have any, well, in my opinion, they won't have any really good games out there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's,
Yeah. And then at that point, I said that if this happens, then because like there's already so many people getting, there's like a snowball of like viral cancellations happening right now. Like there's
Yes, it's
YouTube
insane.
stuff, there's Twitch stuff. So if this was to happen and Evo was to get affected, then good and damn well all of a sudden the FGC is gonna get under fire because they're like, oh, if you're gonna take them Fighting Herds and the Skullgirls out of Evo, well, this fucking person plays and/or worked on this game, so I don't even know why this game's getting supported, because there's probably a whole bunch of fucking creeps in the FGC. So
Well,
that
there's
could just
actually
be a
another thing with that too.
snowball effect, honestly, is what I think.
There's actually people getting canceled in the FGC,
Exactly,
and
yeah.
people potentially canceling Capcom because of their connection. So like Filipino Champ and Chris G have said some pretty stupid things, and people were starting to be like, all right, well, fuck them, but also fuck the games that they play, which are mainly Capcom games, and like, yeah. So, and I was like, yo, wait, hold on, don't say fuck Capcom. Capcom ain't do nothing to y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, because like one thing that's been going on with like specifically, I guess, with like cancel culture in general for a while is everyone needs to understand how to separate like the product from the person in a way, depending on what it is. Like it'd be different if it was like if Mike Z was a musical artist and he had music out and it was his specific work, or if he was an artist and he had his own specific work. But this like a video game isn't just like, well, it can be, but these games aren't just like him and like one other person or just him. It's like a whole team. So it's like you're screwing over the work of all these people, all this stuff, and then it's like these games are still good. These games are godlike, and it's like, so I don't know. It becomes one of those situations where it's like, where do you stand? What are you willing to lose? I guess in these situations, or like, are you the bad guy for enjoying something that somebody happened to work on? I guess I don't know. I guess that's the type of sticky snowball this whole thing could be. This whole thing is. But yeah. Yeah,
it's real tense, but I just really hope that this gets resolved within a few days. I know there's people making really big posts about it right now, like as we speak on Twitter. So it's very important that this shit
gets
ends.
Nipped. Yeah.
Yeah.
When's Evo Online again? July?
I think it's happening over a span of 3 days, 3 weekends. I'm sorry. If I remember correctly, I know one of them is like during my birthday weekend, so that's 11th to the 12th. Let's see. I don't fully remember. Oh well.
But it is coming up. Yeah, it's coming
Yes.
Okay.
It's coming up.
Speaking of cancel culture, Aisha,
Me?
you have also been binging the YouTube side of things. This is gonna be rough because you're not really paying too much attention, but you're catching the wind of it. But it's a lot.
Oh my god, I'm not even gonna say I've been binging it, but like shit has been going down on Twitter. And this is all, a lot of this stuff is oh god, why'd you no
not this. Not this. I don't know what else to put on the screen. What else do you want from me?
It's okay, just go to a T-Spill channel or something. They're all talking about it,
I guess.
But I want to say it's essentially a continuation of the Dramageddon that happened.
The Dramageddon.
No, that's what it's called. The Dramageddon that happened in 2019 between, it was like James Charles and Tati, I believe it was. And correct me if I'm wrong. If anyone else, don't click on Drama Alert.
I don't
correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand is it started out with Tati, who's like 38, and James Charles, who was like 19 at the time. He was getting big on YouTube and doing his whole like makeup guru thing. And I believe he was, because him and Tati were friends, he was like supporting or promoting her hair gummies. Her I think it was like, I forgot what the fuck they were called. It's not important. And then something happened, and he was at like Coachella, and he supported another gummy brand, and she was just very hurt by this. And they say it's not the gummies, but that's one of the big things, was the gummies. She felt betrayed. This whole exposed video came out where essentially he was accused of being a predator and saying that he needs to go to jail, and he like tries to go out with straight men and all this good shit. And also Jeffree Star is involved. And then Shane Dawson did his, him and Jeffree Star did a makeup palette. the Conspiracy Palette, and he did a documentary series, a YouTube documentary series about the it was like the behind the scenes of how making a palette works, I guess. I don't know. I didn't care to watch it. And within that, he was putting like he was pretty much advertising the drama that was going on in his trailers. And pretty much, I don't know what the fuck happened, but this is coming back out again. And he wrote this very long, like, memo pad rant about, oh, well, I didn't force anyone to do anything, and I hate the drama, and everyone in the beauty community is trash, and yada yada yada. Like, he was just trash talking the entire beauty community, but he's still friends with Jeffree Star, who's like very problematic, and also he's friends with other problematic YouTubers like Tana Mojo and Trisha Paytas, and everyone's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Y'all are like in y'all 30s, and y'all are calling out this 19-year-old kid, and y'all made him want to kill himself because for what? And then now with Shane, there's like a bunch of his problematic jokes coming back out, and the fact that he did blackface comedy back in 2009, and a bunch of like really sus as fuck jokes that he made on podcasts, and it's just really bad. It's a lot.
The big. I don't know if you saw the one from this week, Aisha. He actually just got in trouble with the Smith family is coming after him, actually.
Yes, because at the time, Willow Smith, she was like 11. The Whip My Hair Back and Forth song came out. And he was like, fake jacking off to the poster of her, I think it was, and making like, I whip my hair in, or like making like,
I whip my dick back and forth.
It was really bad. And at the time, like, because he's like in his 30s now, so he was like in his 20s when he was doing this shit. So basically he's getting called out and canceled for being problematic. Jeffree Star has already been canceled like 15 times, but you know, he's still around. I don't know what the fuck James Charles is doing right now. And then Tati came out with some 40-minute statement video that she said was written by her lawyers, just talking about the entire thing and saying that she was, I don't want to say that she was forced to make the video that she did, but that's essentially what she alluded to. And it's just a lie. I still don't even know what the hell is going on. They're just digging up Shane's problematic past again, and then also just saying like, yeah, you know, you can say that he's innocent and all this stuff, but look at the people that he hangs out with. Look at the shit that he did. Look at the blackface he did. Look at this joke that he made. Like, I think he made like a really poor taste Trayvon Martin joke.
This is why we just gotta start supporting black creators. See, this is why we be talking about.
It's funny because, like, I don't want to, because I never really was a fan of Shane. Like, at one point, I came across his stuff and I was watching like some of his older videos because I wasn't watching his shit at the time that he was doing all that blackface and shit. I saw like his conspiracy theory videos and when he started going more into documentaries and stuff. But now I'm just like, see, no. And he's losing a bunch of subscribers. He lost monetization on all 3 of his channels also. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It was a very, very shitty explanation of it because, like, it's a lot of stuff that happened last year on top of them digging things up.
I don't know, dude.
All the way back to, like, 2008 like and 2009.
If you've even been, like, keeping up with, like, the shit that they've been... I don't, like, that's a whole... Again, on the whole YouTube neighborhoods thing, that's a whole... second fucking separate area of YouTube I never even delve into. I don't like.
Well, I remember I showed you like one of his things. Like I said before, all this shit happened. But now I'm just like, yeah, no, fuck you.
YouTube, I never really got into like YouTubers who end up getting into a bunch of fucking drama anyway. It's like
he claims
it's like high school.
He
level
claims
shit.
He's not into the drama, but all of his friends are problematic and in drama. So of course. He's gonna be in drama regardless. He doesn't call them out on anything.
It's also like one of those things where like there have been people who have worked with Shane Dawson and who have been like, there's a reason why I don't like Shane Dawson. Remember those moments where he did this A and B and C and everyone thought it was cool, but then it was also like, oh yeah, ain't this kind of weird? And y'all all still laughed about it anyway? Yeah, that's why I said I don't work with Shane Dawson. Like there have been plenty of like YouTube creators who have been like, I'm not with this guy.
It's also funny because the back when his content was getting, like, when a lot of people said that his content was better was when he was making content with his friends, and now those two friends are no longer really involved with any of his videos.
Those are the two that like helped carry the conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
right?
so it was Shane, Garrett, and Drew. They were like the spooky boys, and they would like go to like haunted places or whatever, and a bunch of shit like that. But then at one point, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been following it a lot, but I think Drew like fell off, and it was just Shane and Garrett. And then Garrett kind of stopped being as involved, so now it's just like Shane and his boyfriend and his boyfriend's sister, and now Jeffree Star. I guess I don't know. It's stupid. It's really dumb. It's a lot of drama. The beauty, that side of the beauty world is falling apart, and everybody else is just like, Come watch our shit. We're not problematic. Come buy our palettes.
Hashtag support black creators.
Yeah, basically.
Let's see.
I feel like that was an anticlimactic end.
That's
because
what I wanted
it's just,
to say.
it's so dumb.
Kingdom Hearts. You should have ended on Skullgirls, to be honest. Ooh. Ooh. But
We can end on this.
yeah.
So there's one thing that me and a lot of other people have been talking about. It's good that we're talking about all these topics that are happening and all these issues that are happening, be it racial, other type of social issues, or like cancel culture. But damn, bro, it's so negative right now in the world.
Yeah.
It's so fucking negative in the world to the point where people are starting to feel guilty for being happy about something.
Yeah.
Yep. It's really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to personally say to people, you can fight for what's right. You can address these issues that you need to at hand, but also take time for yourself. It's really important that you take time for yourself and you do the things that make you happy, and you should be able to talk about the things that make you happy. But it's important that you still address and acknowledge these things and don't ignore them, because that's what'll happen. What'll happen is we will go back to the same place we were before, and then the history will repeat itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just be for the cause for clout.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you're truly, like, you know, I guess an ally,
an ally
to
always.
everything, like, you don't have to be only talking about that stuff. Like, it is okay to balance the two things. Just don't I guess don't forget about your allies.
Don't forget about it.
Yeah, don't
Like-
forget about it. Like,
Like,
things will never truly be back to normal, but I don't think anyone should feel like they can't feel a small sense of normalcy because they feel like they have to be vocal 24/7. You can be vocal while having that normalcy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and like we're all black here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This shit ain't leaving our eyes, our minds, our hearts. It's not leaving
Yeah. The
our
world gonna change
environment at all.
enough.
But we all still need to do things that are going to make us happy, which is why we're on this podcast right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's important to me, and it's important to all of us that we all, fight for a better future. But we still need to have a pretty decent, good present, especially with everything that's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
So, don't forget that.
Yeah.
It's important. Now we can end the stream.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, we can totally end on that. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Binge Blast podcast. We talk about things that we've been playing and watching. And yeah, shout out to Aisha, Jamir, and Javi, members of Team RDW, for being on this week. If you're watching this on YouTube, shout out to you. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below for any parts that you enjoyed. Also, shout out to everyone who was coming through during the live recording of this podcast on twitch.tv/commentidw, and also to you people that are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all those other amazing podcast streaming services. We're everywhere. So tune in and catch us on the next episode. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.